What a lovely day indeed. Welcome, guys, to Mad Max Fury Road spoiler review. Now, I'm assuming you saw the film. This is just basically my thoughts on what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. Come on. It is awesome. I loved every single damn moment of this film. Now, before I get started with all the spoilers, I want to say that, hey, you should watch the previous Mad Max films, the Mel Gibson films. I think you're going to come into this film or really appreciate this film even more after watching those three films because, man, George Miller, the first film, he had such a tough time, and even the second film, just a lot. You'll just understand what this guy brought over those films and just polished it up, cleaned it up. You can see his evolution as a director. He really is starting to freaking... He nailed this. He nailed this film. I think this is the best out of the trilogy. It's really that damn good. Now, what I really loved about this film was the villain. I thought the villain was cool. He was awesome. I thought he looked great. His motivation, the family quarrel about the, overall, it's simplistic. I wish it was a little bit more. He was more of a badass type of, definitely not a develop, but something different in type of villain that we don't normally see. But I really like the look of this villain. His name is King Immortan Joe, and this guy looks so cool. He reminded me of Twisted Metal, Sweet Tooth. He looked awesome, man. He had that mask, and you see him in the trailers. He just commands a presence. And his voice, man, his voice is just like that voice is very, very menacing. Basically what this film is about is King Immortan has his cult following, so to speak. He captures Mad Max in the very beginning of this film, and overall this whole film is chasing after their betrayer, their Furiosa, who is played by Charlize Theron. She has these women who pretty much are King Immortan Joe's wives. It's his wives, and they give birth to all his sons. So he wants his wives back. Furiosa is just trying to bring them to take them to like the Promised Land, the Green Land, and you see King Immortan Joe pretty much chasing after them on their asses basically, and Max is just involved with all this craziness. He's just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, he was captured, honestly. And that's how Max always is in every single film. He's there, he's trying to survive, and then he just gets thrown into all this shit that's happening around him, and he has to be part of it. I gotta say, Tom Hardy did do a great job. I loved his and I love the part where Charlize Theron's like, "Oh, what do I call you? Like, what's your name?" He's like, "You don't need to know my name." Well, what do I say when I have to tell you this? And then I love the part where she basically, okay, I'm going to just call you a fool. When I say fool, you're going to do this, and you're going to take off with the rig. The rig really was definitely a callback to Road Warrior, which I really like, because Road Warrior, that ending action sequence is awesome. I mean, I remember when I was watching it for the first time, I was like, damn, this is a great action set piece. But you get a lot of those throughout the film. I didn't know how they were going to top every action set piece, but somehow, some way, they did. I thought the Sandstorm action set piece was pretty damn good, though. I thought that was pretty awesome, especially the color palette on that one. You have this like fiery red when they're going into the sandstorm. Before that, though, you get the sense of how these people operate, the cult following for King Immortan. And I love how they just throw in these spears and it blows up. There's like doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger and Predator. I love Nicholas Holt's character as well. I thought he was a great character. You actually sympathize with this villainous character. He switches sides, but you do sympathize with this character, especially when. It was kind of weird, though, when he was getting blood from Max in the very beginning. I was like, what the hell? Why does he need his blood and stuff? And it was also weird when they're being sprayed with the can and, like, make Chrome be with you or whatever. That was odd. That was weird. But Nicholas Hoult, I thought he did a great job. Some of the dialogue is a little, funky and stuff, but you just go along with it. You think, this is actually pretty fun. It's a fun film. But that sandstorm scene, man, it was freaking awesome. I thought it was great. That's some of the CGI. You do see some of that in that sequence, but it was really a great sequence, especially with Nicholas Hoult gonna blow himself up, and then Max stopping it. Max being captured in the very beginning, I was kind of saddened a little bit that we didn't see Max in his car a lot. We didn't see him at all, except the very beginning. I did like when they flipped the car. You see that in the trailer. And you see Max being taken. He has the long hair, and it just when I saw that long hair and I saw that grizzly guy, I was just thinking Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. That's what I was thinking. But they end up cutting his hair and stuff. Overall, Max there's hardly any dialogue with him in this film, and that's how Max is all the time. But when you do get the dialogue, you got grumpy Tom Hardy a little bit. He's like, yeah, do this, do that. That's basically Max to the fullest in this film. My name is Max. That's basically all he pretty much says. He says little dialogue here and there, a little sprinkle. But I think it's his actions that I think I really cater to. Like, he does do all the stunts. He does look like this badass. Hardy did a good job just with all the stunt work, with all basically the look he was giving Max, the grumpiness he was giving as well. So that's why I liked Hardy's character. But I think the character I really loved the most was definitely Charlize Theron. I think Theron was definitely... I couldn't believe it when I was watching the film because I didn't notice it in the trailer, but she was missing an arm. She was missing a limb. And I thought that just made her a little bit more unique, too, because you see, that come to play later on in the movie where she's saving Max. She's barely holding on to him, and you see little by little this arm is just about to fall. So it was definitely interesting that they gave her a missing limb, and it makes her more mysterious. It's like... how the hell did she lose that limb? She never says anything, so it just gives you that more, all right, mysterious kind of chick, a little badass chick. She's been through some shit. I liked how she has some of the tar on her eyes. I don't have no clue why she does that, but I guess it's, whatever, but I like the look. I thought she looked great. She definitely had that gaze within her, like she was set on getting these girls to the Greenland, and the girls were fine. The girls were not too bad. There was one moment where I was like, wait a minute, are they going to do a movie cliche when the freaking pregnant chick is about to smack onto the rock, and then you think she hits into the rock, she's dead, she hits into the rock, and I'm like, oh damn. And I was like, oh, wait, no, movie cliche. She's still alive. The door swings back open. She's still there. And, Max is looking at her, and he's like, thumbs up. I was like, movie cliche. But then she falls, and she freaking gets run over. I was like, ooh, damn. That was the moment where I was like, okay, all right, movie. There were some questions, too, throughout the film, like when they were getting stuck in the mud and they were moving again. I was like, okay, how the hell did you guys get out of that? And they showcased how they did it, putting the freaking door by the tires so they can try to get some try to get some movement to go. So there was questions throughout the film that I had that they addressed, which was pretty sweet. And then the wheel coming apart, I really liked that part. I liked how they used anything that was surrounding them. You could tell that people were building, this stuff on these cars and doing all this stuff from gathering other junk that they found wherever, and they're just trying to make the best out of it. So just like, when the wheel just was gone, they were using the wrench to steer the rig. So that was good stuff. I mean, this movie just has so much things going on, but it takes the time to kind of slow down and really have your breath. You can catch your breath a little bit, see these characters interact with each other just a little bit, and then it goes right back to action sequence. I like the motorcycle sequences as well. We get introduced to a lot of people, different kind of clans, so to speak, different kind of tribes. That was good. I like the old ladies, man. The old lady who is a sharpshooter and knocking people on freaking just headshot after headshot. Thought she was great. Thought the old ladies were fun. They were really fun, and they actually had something to do. They weren't just there like, oh, I'm an old lady. Nope. They actually had a purpose in this film. They were, making sure that the girls got to where they needed to be. King of Morton, though, Joe, was his brothers were a little weird. They're a little freaky. Especially the dude with the freaking nipple rings. I was like, what the hell is that? And then especially with the breast milk and stuff, it was weird. It was just, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what the hell is this? That was a little, that took me by surprise. But absolutely love the rocker. You know, the guy who's playing the guitar, and even the soundtrack was like, you know, had that background battle music, and it was coming from that rocker sometimes. That was sweet. This guy rocked on through the whole film, and I love that George Miller did that because it sort of speaks to the audience. Like, the audience is this rocker guy, right? We're just going through the whole film trying to make it to the end, and the rocker does sort of make it all the way to the end, and then he's just movie's over basically after the rocker dies. So I like that aspect as well. I mean, this film is just, what can I say? It's just action packed. It's very brutal. It is very brutal. A lot of action set pieces. I think the action set pieces are some of the best I've seen. Story, you're not going to get, you know, the most phenomenal story out of this, but you're just going to have such a fun time. I was so satisfied with this film. Am I satisfied with the Max character? Not necessarily. I think that character could go definitely a long ways with more character development and stuff. But I did like where they were headed, and I definitely did like where they're headed. I hope Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy put a different, you know, aside their differences, or, you know, I heard they made up, you know, so to speak, and it was just being on that freaking desert and everything for so many months. But I hope they do make another film together, another Mad Max film, because I think Furiosa was one of the best characters I've seen in a while. Characters, not female, you know, awesome, strong female type character. No, just overall character, because she was, I didn't even think of her as a female. I thought of her as this badass character. And a lot of the also the other chicks who were basically the wives of King Amorna Joe, I didn't really think of them as just, you know, well, I kind of did. But Charlize Theron was definitely a character that is awesome in this world, and I would love to see her and Tom Hardy do a little bit more out of that. Did you think that she was going to die at the end? Nah, she wasn't going to die at the end. I did like how Hardy was like, Max is like, all right, let me do this, let me do that. You're good. You're good. Oh, man. Just a lot of stuff. Like I said, Nicholas Hoult was really great in the film. Too much time here, but overall, all I just have in my mind is just basically all these action set pieces. That's basically what you're going to get. You're just going to get a pure 100% action film. And that's exactly what I was looking. The trailers don't lie. I mean, if you're coming into this looking for crazy ass, you know, storyline and this and that, you're not going to get it. You're just going to get a simplistic story with such great action sequences. And this is true action film that I haven't seen since John Wick. John Wick was a pretty badass action film. But overall, great stuff. Just great stuff. I'm definitely going to get that soundtrack. What else can I say about this film? Just go watch it. Or if you haven't seen it yet. Or if you've seen it, let me know, guys. Let me know what your guys' favorite part. My favorite part, I did like the part when Max saw his car. And he's like, that's mine. That's mine. I'm going to get that. That was pretty damn shame that the car freaking blew up. And I don't think that's the same car from the original trilogy. But my favorite part has to be the ending. Towards the end, I think. No, towards the beginning, probably. That sandstorm scene is pretty hard to top. It was pretty awesome. That was pretty damn awesome. I would say probably, yeah, because Tom Hardy was strapped onto that car. And, like, I was kind of worried for Max. You know, you could just see Hardy's expression. I don't know if he was really... He's like, oh, no, you know, that's my freaking head, you know. That was a great scene. You know, my favorite part probably, too, was how the villain gets it. And his mask is freaking ripped right, like, gets caught, and the chain gets caught in the tire or whatever. And his whole face just rips apart. That was great. That was a really awesome way to kill off your villain. But overall, no, that's probably one of my favorite parts. I got to watch it a couple more times, and it's an awesome film, guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Please let me know what your favorite moments, anything with the film. Let's talk Mad Max in the comments below. So please subscribe, please like, and I'm watching it Probably 2 more times at least 2 more times. All right, guys. See you later. Have a good night, and what a lovely day.